Hello and welcome back to Blackwatch Intel. My name is Crashy, and today we're going to be talking about how to promote in Overwatch, more specifically, how to get out of gold and into platinum. Now, why did I pick these two skill tiers? Well, this is the one that I've actually been asked the most about. For some reason, I think it has to do with the fact that I believe the majority of players in Overwatch, the majority of the player base, is in the gold platinum area. Now, that said, there is no trick. There is no secret magical thing that you have to do or a hero you can play or, like I said, some kind of magic trick to get yourself to a higher rank. I've been struggling this season. I had to grind a lot in Season 4 to get to Masters where I was at, and I was pushing for Grandmasters. And it's just coming down to knowing a few fundamental things and understanding the game in a little bit different ways. Sometimes it just takes a change in perspective or the willingness to be the standout player that each and every team needs. So I'm going to go ahead and cover a few things. I'm not going to list them off like tips, but they might come out like that in some kind of a way. But overall, I just want to give my opinion on what it really takes to rank up in Overwatch and to promote specifically out of gold. So in the gold area, I want to say that the majority of the issues are probably game sense related. And when I say game sense, I mean really being able to objectively analyze the game at any given moment in order to make the best decision right then and there in that exact moment in order to save a lot of time. And this is a very complex thing if you think about it, because it's not just you that has to do that, it's all 6 of your teammates, including yourself. Now this means, recognizing when a fight is lost and backing up, recognizing when you need to engage and disengage, recognizing when to combo ultimates or when to use ultimates. It's all the different little intricacies that come along with Overwatch that make a game as simple as playing, this game actually fairly complex. Now, the number one tip, if I had to give it a tip form, I want to say is just to please, and most importantly, please stop staggering. When you are waiting to group up with your team, or when a fight has been finished and your team's losing, just don't go forward and die. It's not fun, and it is boring to hide behind the wall right in front of your spawn and wait for your teammates, especially when you're the first one that spawned and you need to wait on them, but it's required, it's necessary in order to group up and give your team the best percentage chance to win the next upcoming fight 6-on-6. You can't go in, by yourself. You can't go in and wipe the team. And even if you do have an ultimate, if you're to go in, it's most likely going to be a waste. So just please stop staggering, group up. The second thing, and this is a big one because it just makes the most sense, even though it's not necessarily even something that I follow, but you have to be flexible enough to make situations work. And this kind of segues into my next thought. There are going to be a lot of games that you're going to play where the comps make absolutely no sense. But you can't give up. You can't let that, tarnish your ability to perform the best you can, because understanding that you can only control yourself is the most important thing in competitive Overwatch. You, everybody else out there, you can only control yourself. You can only pick what hero you want to play and what you think is best, and you can only perform as good as you can perform. And this is where a lot of, top 500 and pro players will tell you, if you're good, you will climb. And this is true mostly, probably like 90% true, because it's true, for the most part. If you're good and you play the game well and you pick things that are necessary and you're being helpful with shot calling and you're performing consistently in 90%, 100% of your games, you will climb. That said, that's not the reality of the competitive ladder. You're going to have games where someone's throwing. You're going to have games where after the first round on control maps, someone hates your pick and they want you to swap, so they swap to Torbjorn. You're going to have games where, you have a one-trick Widow and she's not landing any shots. But there's no point overexerting yourself and using your energy to try to complain at the people that are on your team and to get frustrated with them. And this is something that's taken me a long time to learn and still something I struggle with. You just have to play your game. When the game is starting and you see the comp that's before you, maybe your team has mostly built a dive comp and the last DPS is Hanzo or something, or maybe your team has mostly built a dive comp, but you have no Lucio. Don't worry about it, play your game, focus on looking at their team and your pick specifically, and find your target. Find what you think is going to be your win condition, and overall just focus on yourself. This has been, the most important thing that I've had to learn with Overwatch, is just to be very critical of yourself. Maybe even write down why you died, when you died. It's good to have kind of like a notebook, something you can come back to and see what's getting you killed more often than not. Try not to stagger, try to group up. Don't be impulsive with your ultimate. Don't pop it just when you get it, unless it's a perfect timing, but that's rare. I'd say more often than not, you're going to want to hold your ult when you get it and find the situation to use it. So, all in all, I think this video is pretty simple. There's no magic trick to ranking up out of gold, but what you can do is focus on yourself, try to be as consistent as possible, be flexible enough to make the comps make the most sense that they can. And obviously, like I've said, you're going to get games where they don't, and there's nothing you can pick that will help. But don't be the reason you lose. Don't throw your own game because you're frustrated. And just, get out there and grind it out. I think another thing that's kind of an unspoken thing with ranking up in Overwatch is understanding that it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of games, and you have to win, ultimately. So there's no point in freaking out and yelling at your teammates. There's no point in changing your pick because you're frustrated and, they're throwing, I'm going to throw too. Just focus on yourself and do the best that you can. So hopefully this advice was, well received. It's different, I know, but it's something that I even have to just tell myself every now and then. I have to be in the middle of the game and tell myself, well, why are you one-tricking Genji right now? Why aren't you swapping? They need your help. And even though I know Genji's my best player, maybe I could help him out with something else. So thanks again for checking out this video. Please do not leave without leaving a like and subscribe for future content. We're going to be pushing out videos as often as we can. The channel is just continuing to grow, and that's super exciting. So thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video.
Do you feel your bones start to shake? Do you feel the earthquake? Do you feel the fire inside of me? Do you see the sparks that I'm setting free? Does the beat take you over? You just